Welcome back to episode 169 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast. My name is Josh. I'm here with Troy, who's back at home. You're out of like the Bates Motel or wherever you recorded the last episode from.
I'm out of the gulag. No more crappy internet. You can actually probably hear me. The sound was terrible on my mic last week or last episode. I apologize. It worked, but it was not good.
That happens. Life of a podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
We got a big show prepared for you all today, so we're going to get right to it pretty quick. I just do want to mention really quick, though, before we get started, that I was lucky enough to record a podcast on Coach Co's show today. It'll be out this Sunday on YouTube. You know, like if 4 hours a week of me isn't enough for y'all and you want some more, I would encourage you to go check it out on YouTube or Spotify, Apple, wherever Coach Co's podcast is. And then lastly, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast is a Patreon podcast, which means we rely on support of listeners like yourself to, well, help us cover our show expenses, continue to produce more and hopefully better hockey card content, and help us fund initiatives, even in a small way, to grow the hockey hobby. Super easy to support us. You can join our Patreon for as little as $5 a month, be part of our out of $199 support level tier, be one of the first 199 supporters of our show. You get exclusive access to our Discord server and can join the community there and chat with everybody on a daily basis. It's awesome and worth the price of admission itself. And do some other kind of cool stuff. We have the 5K challenge where somebody real soon, Troy, is going to win the 2020-21 box of the cup, which is kind of crazy. Very easy to do. You can go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, and click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page, or you go to the Patreon website directly, Patreon, and search for Hockey Cards Gong Show. There's a link in the show description if you're listening to us on a podcast app like Apple or Spotify, or in the YouTube description as well. And then finally, in our Instagram and TikTok profiles, we have a link there. Should we just get right into it, Troy? Are you ready with the game plan, bud?
Yeah, let's get into it. We begin the show with the almost greatest NHL player to wear number 69. Then we take a look at wax prices that are not 23-24 Series 2 and see if the recent Series 2 release and the Bedard Young Guns, Bedard Mania chase has had any effect on the pricing of other recent hockey wax products. This is followed by a segment we are calling Unsolved Mysteries Hobby Edition. Stay tuned for that. Then it's off to the next installment of Rookie Deep Dive. We end the show with the trifecta of new product releases, our PWCC Weekly Hockey Card Preview, and any personal pickups. Okay, Josh, we previously looked at the greatest NHL player that wore the number that matched our episode number. We ran through all the numbers, so now we are looking at the almost greatest NHL player to wear each number from the runners up in the Hockey Writers' Greatest NHL Player to Wear Each Number article. Josh, the almost greatest NHL player to wear number 69 per the nominees in the Hockey Writers' Greatest NHL Player to Wear Each Number article, and selected by me, is Mel Engelstad. Here he is, Josh. That is the best photo I could find. He does not have a lot. There's some, but they had Getty Images watermarks, and I was like, whatever. We're gonna find.
Is he like in the NHL Witness Protection Program or something?
Oh boy, Josh, you're in for a treat. Don't read ahead. There were no other runners up at number 69. As a reminder, the greatest to wear number 69 was Andrew Desjardins. And oh boy, Josh, this might be one of the shortest segments we've ever done on this part. But let's get this out of the way. In the NHL, there have been only 3 players that have worn number 69 and played in an NHL game. Those would be Andrew Desjardins, the greatest to wear number 69. And then we have Mel Engelstad, the almost greatest to wear number 69. And this NHL season, we have Chase DeLeo, who has played 7 games this season for the Anaheim Ducks, compiling 0 points in 7 games played.
Hey, Troy.
Yep.
Why don't you explain to all the children listening to this family show?
No. I get to that.
Okay.
I'm sticking to the bit, and we will look at Mel Engelstad, as that is who the Hockey Writers article had. But I will say this. If Chase DeLeo gets 1 point,
oh God,
1 point, he will take over as the almost greatest NHL player to wear number 69. Yes, it is that bad. And obviously, not a lot of players have worn number 69. This is what Josh was alluding to, due to the very adult connotation the number holds. Remember, this is a family show, Josh. and we are not going to get into that. Do
Nope.
your own research if you don't know.
Google it.
Google it. All right. Mel Engelstad, forward from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada.
I already love him.
Engelstad went undrafted and eventually signed with the Washington Capitals as a free agent in April of 2004. I should mention he also signed with Dallas as a free agent in 1998, but never played in an NHL regular season game with them. So this is where I went down a rabbit hole. I was completely confused because I found footage of Engelstad fighting Bob Probert when Engelstad was with Dallas. And I'm like, how does he fight a guy in a regular season game but never gets credit for it? Then I realized the date of the video was September 13th, 1999. So it was a preseason game. That's why he has some footage out there with Dallas, but he never played a regular season NHL game. Here come the big stats, Josh. Engelstad played in 2 regular season NHL games over a 1-season NHL career. Engelstad played his entire 2-game career with the Washington Capitals.
Did they do a thank you video after his final game?
No, I don't think he knew it was his final game. For his awards and accomplishments, Josh, he played in 2 NHL games. That's what we're going with.
Well, to his credit, we have played in 0 NHL games.
That's part of my thing too. It's like, hey, I can chuckle and stuff because of the segment, and usually we have players that have played a little bit, but hey, he made it, we didn't. And I'm guessing 99% of our listeners didn't play in the NHL either, but that's the way it is. For his career stat line, Josh, no goals, no assists, no points. In addition, he also had 2 penalty minutes and 1 shot on goal while averaging 13 minutes of ice time for those 2 games. Engelstad, unfortunately, never made the playoffs in his NHL career. So here's another great picture I could find. I'll get to where this picture is from in a little bit. Best season, Josh, of his NHL career from a point standpoint was his 03-04 season where Engelstad had 0 goals, 0 assists for 0 points in 2 games played with the Washington Capitals. I just chuckled to myself when I was writing that line. Okay, now, like Josh said, hey, at least he made the NHL. And his journey to the NHL was actually a pretty long one. He played 5 seasons splitting time in the Colonial Hockey League while also playing in the ECHL, AHL, and the IHL during those 5 seasons. He then proceeded to play in the Western Professional Hockey League and the IHL and AHL for an additional 6 seasons before making his brief NHL debut at the age of 31 in 2003-04. This picture I'm showing for our YouTube viewers, it's from a YouTube video, and it's completely awesome. They interview him, I believe, after the first period of his first NHL game. And
nice.
He is like the most excited person in the world in this interview. It's really good to watch. And it's like you can see all that hard work finally paid out in this moment where you had to play in the NHL. And even though it's only for 2 games. So if you want to look up Mel Engelstad on YouTube, you'll find the video. It's out there. It should be the first or second that pops up. All right, what's he doing now, Josh? It looks like Engelstad, based on a Wikipedia entry, is currently a firefighter in Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada. And then, Josh, I think I found his Instagram, and it looks like he got promoted to captain in November of 2023. So now he's in the red helmet, I guess. So that's very cool.
He's either really big or the other guy in the photo is very small.
I think Engelstad was pretty big. He was a fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. He was a fighter, a physical guy. So that's kind of what he's doing now. So for his fun, interesting facts, we don't have too many. His nicknames were the Mangler and Mad Mel, which is a play off of Mad Max.
He played in 2 games and 2 nicknames.
Yeah. Well, lots of minor league hockey. Or
Yeah.
I guess what professional hockey, minor league hockey. First player in NHL history, Josh, wear number 69. He will always be known for that. For his rookie card, and he does have a rookie card. And
this is shocking to me. Well, if you ever wonder like how Upper Deck waters down rookies and stats, it's like I present this as evidence 1 to the court.
But I love this. I absolutely love that he has a rookie card. 2004-05 SP Authentic Future Watch, number 94. There is only 1 graded card at PSA ever for Mel Engelstad, and it is this card. It received a PSA 8 grade. Same thing at Beckett, only one graded card ever, and it was this card. It received a BGS 9 grade. Now, I will say this. I'm actually pretty shocked at the last sale. I couldn't find any sales of the 2 graded cards, obviously, but the last raw sale of this card was for $7.65 US on December 31st of 2023. I thought that was a pretty decent price. Like usually they're like 99 cents, but hey.
But it seems
probably not a
fitting
lot of
that
them.
neither of his graded cards got a 10, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't want him. What's his name? I already forgot.
Mel Engelstad.
Mel Engelstad. You don't want a PSA 10.
I would if I ever came across one of those graded cards at the expo, I would be trying to buy it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Kind of makes sense, right? It's a odd number. It's not something you want to, maybe have grandma know that you're wearing, that sort of deal. So I get it from that perspective. Well, the bar is pretty low for number 70, Troy. If they played 3 games, it's already.
Yeah, I don't know who. I didn't look up who's 70, but man, chase the Leo, bud. I know you've only played 7 games, but next time you're out there, you got to get a point because then you automatically take over the almost greatest player to wear number 69.
And Desjardins wasn't a bad player, right?
No, he was decent.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to look at some non-Series 2. Yeah, there is a hobby that's not Series 2, believe it or not. Breaking news on the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast. We're going to look at some non-Series 2 wax prices because on our last show, we did cover Series 2 and kind of the secondary market impact of how much wax is going up, what some of like the Bedard singles are going for. Mm-hmm. And all along, one of our theories regarding all the demand and all the price increase for Series 2 is that, there's only so much, so big of a pool of money to be spent on the hobby. And if so much is to be spent in one area, like chasing Connor Bedard, would other stuff maybe get cheaper? Mm-hmm. And so very early still, we're just about a week after the Series 2 release, but we thought we'd take a look at some of the other recent releases from both 2023-24 and also 2022-23 and see if maybe the Series 2 product being out there is already having a little bit of an impact on those sets as they sit at online retailers and on the shelves at your local card shop. Just a couple of kind of context things for this conversation. We're going to look at both U.S. and Canadian prices. We use Dave & Adams for the U.S. We use Clouts and Char for Canada, just because they're both bigger shops and they're more well-known. Mm-hmm. We're also just going to look at hobby box prices. One of the things, though, that we've learned on the show and talking to Upper Deck and just through our experience is that there is no manufacturer's price on hockey. So just because it's a product is X dollars here at Dave & Adams doesn't mean it's not more expensive at your local card shop or less expensive. These are just sort of barometers. You have to kind of shop around and on any of these boxes, unfortunately, and try to get the best deal you can. Okay, Troy, so we're going to start out with 2023-24 OPC hobby boxes, which have been hotter than dog snot. So it's factual.
Yes.
So Dave & Adams, Troy, we're up. It's like every day this price goes up. We're now up to $180 for a box. I'll say it again in case you think your radio glitched out. $180 for a box of OPC paper. Could this hit $200, Troy?
I hope not. Listen, we've talked about this a million times. I get the pricing, but it just makes me really, really sad. Because OPC paper is supposed to be our cheap rip. We get a ton with 600 base cards. It's the one we have fun with. You can buy 5-6 boxes and not break the bank. It's good for kids, I think, to get in if like younger people want to get into the hobby. And it makes me sad, but it is what it is. If they're still selling it, what can I do? But will it hit 200? I hope not.
Well, availability has been a big issue. Like I know we can really speak best here in Minnesota. It's kind of sold out at basically all the local card shops. So it's somewhat tough to find. Well, Troy, you might be wishing right now that you were a Canadian citizen and living in Canada because of Clouts and Chara, it's 175 Canadian for a hobby box. And if you do the currency conversion, that's basically $50 off for what it's selling for in the US.
Boy, I'm getting excited for the expo again.
I know. I knew that was coming. I saw it. I saw that twinkle in your eye.
Oh, I'm going to load up, and then you'll have to drive it all back.
But that goes back to, again, no MSRP.
Yeah.
Upper Deck kind of letting it, their strategy is to just sell it to distributors and direct, and then you price it whatever you want. You get these wild swings in price that kind of are annoying. It's like, wait, why is it $50 cheaper, the equivalent in Canada? But oh well. Okay, we're going to move on to our next 2023-24 product, and that we're going to look at is Upper Deck Series 1. So I don't know, do you remember this product, Troy? It kind of feels like eons ago now.
It does.
That it came out.
The only reason I know it is because my son bought a box of it last week. So I'm still familiar with it.
Well, it was released on October 18th of last year, 2023. Here in the U.S., Troy, David Adams, it's climbing down a little bit. It's down $5 from its release price of $150 US. If I'm a betting man, I'm not, but if I was, I think we're going to start to see this kind of trickle down a little bit more. It just seems like, given the Bedard chase and how some of these Series 1 guys are not exactly lighting the world on fire, or all of them, that I don't know, it feels a little expensive to me at $145. But hey, that's my opinion.
It's got a Bedard in it though, so that might help it prop it up. It's the Easter egg. Is it truly a short print? Or maybe it is. I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, how long do you want the show to be tonight, Troy?
Yeah, I can remember
6 hours and
we came up with last time we looked at that. Okay.
Well, I feel like there's a hobby controversy brewing, hobby drama, because in Canada, again, at Carlton Chara, it's on sale right now for 150 Canadian. So you do the currency conversion, Troy, there, that's about 111 US.
I'm ready to go now. Let's go.
It's like there's like America tax on hockey cards going on right now. We need to
you see this? I didn't even notice this. Carlton Chara says Connor Bedard, Young Guns, will not be in this product. So hey, I give him props for that at least. Yeah. At least you're not trying to because I actually had that thought when we were looking at David Adams. I was wondering, well, I wonder how many people are buying this, not new to hockey, and not realizing that this isn't the Bedard product.
Oh, I'm sure it happens.
It has the short print, but not the Young Guns. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it happens too. So as much as we've crapped on Carlton Chara sometime for their practices with Series 2, I'll give them credit for putting that on there at least.
Mm-hmm. Next one is 2023-24 Artifacts Hobby. Hot product this year, of course. Lots of Bedsy assumed redemptions, right? Still no official word, I don't think, yet on those. Right now, here in the U.S., where it's about $150 for a hobby box, about $190 in Canada, which converts to like $141 US, so a little bit cheaper in Canada. And remember, this came out on December 15th, 2023. So a lot of the 2023 products are holding their own with the release of Series 2.
Yeah, we're gonna let this slide where they suggested price.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It happened. I think on some websites, I've seen it. It happens everywhere. Best Buy, Amazon, they all do it. But it's so funny when it's like, oh, great, I get 0 discount. Thanks.
Okay, it's going to get interesting now from here.
Yep.
Last 2023 product. Hey, Troy, remember when Bedardapalooza even generated buzz for MVP
this thing? Year? Yes, yeah. I do remember that.
Well, today a hobby box at David Adams will run you $45 about.
Yep.
Down from its release price of $60 US. So that's discounted 20% already. Yeah. There's some Bedard. There's a redemption in there, right? That sold for a lot of regular and a gold. Now in Canada, it seems like Carlton Chara is plumb out of MVP, but I did find at 401 Games for 85 Canadian per hobby box, which correlates to about $67 US.
Oh, so at least Canada's getting screwed on MVP, I guess.
Yeah, but we get screwed on all the good products.
I know. That's why I said it.
And if any Canadians need us to pause the show for a minute so you can jump in your car and race to the U.S. to get your cheaper MVP, we'd be happy to do that for you.
We are being totally Americans right now, just whining about everything.
The release date was August 10th that came out.
All right.
So those are kind of the key 2023-24 releases. But what has really interested Troy is looking at because we've had dual releases coming out all year. And let's start to look at some of the 2022-23 class. First one we're going to look at is Ice. So that came out January 12th, not too long ago of this year. David Adams here in the US, ice has already been reduced to 110 US from a hobby box. It came out at 125.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 12% already. In Canada, the box will run you still today 170 Canadian at Dave & Adams, which is about 126 US dollars. So there's a Canadian premium. Now, isn't there more ice in Canada? Shouldn't ice be cheaper in America than Canada?
No,
but yeah. So a little bit more expensive in Canada, but down 12% here in the US. This one's crazy. 2022-23 SP Authentic came out November 1st. Here in the US, when the product was released on November 1, 180 US. Today, Troy, down to 125. 31%
Ooh.
down already. I don't even know if I like it even at that price.
I know. I was like, I saw this in the notes and I was like, thinking to myself, would I buy it still? I don't know if I would. I'd have to go, you know what? I have to, well, I say this, I want to go through the checklist, but it's like, if I find a card I want, just go buy the stupid single. Don't even mess with the box.
I've never hit a decent Future Watch auto, ever.
I haven't either.
I don't even know how people do it. Is it like a code? Is it a secret? Do you have to open the box a certain way? I don't know how it happens. Well, at Clutch and Char in Canada, this box still runs you $230 Canadian.
Wow. Wow.
That's about $170 US equivalent. It's a huge difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Between that. Definitely a lot cheaper here. All right, 2022-23 Allure. This is a set I really like. This kind of has me happy. I'm liking this. Product came out on October 11th. Dave & Adams here in the US, when the product came out, $120 for Hobby Box. Right, want to chase those 16 bits?
Yep.
Gold, glitter bombs, a bunch of other cool cards. Well, now you can get it for 80 US.
We got that at the expo, right? Wasn't it around 80 we got these?
That was 2021. So this
is
the
2021.
Newest, this is the newest one, yeah. So it's already a 33% discount. Not so much in Canada, though. Try at Close and Chara. It's going to run you 150 Canadian. That's the equivalent of 111 US. So it's basically $31 more US more a box than Canada right now.
Well, now I'm not looking excited to go to Canada. Now they're trying to charge for all these. Now we're benefiting, so that's good.
Well, basically, what this is pointing out is that you have to. There's no like rule of thumb. It's just it's so random. It's kind of all over the place. Speaking of not too long ago, on January 31st, 2022-23 credentials came out. At release, the release price here in the US at Dave & Adams is 120. It's already down to 110 for about a month and a half, something like that. Right now, Canada, credentials is going to run you 170 Canadian box, which is about 126 US. Eesh, don't look at that. And then the last one we're going to look at, Troy, is 2022-23 OPG Platinum. Just came out 2 weeks ago, February 28th. Release price and Dave & Adams was 190. It's already discounted.
I liked my. I mean, obviously, I did get crazy parallels. Not of the best players, but still a lot of like 2 golden treasures and everything. But I really liked this OPG Platinum release. Besides the seismic gold coloring, I think is too dull. I want it more shiny. But I actually like this, so I'm curious. I'm going to watch this and see what it does.
Well, I have 2 theories, and I don't know which one is right or either are, but maybe you can tell me. It's either that 2022-23 class that, again, we've talked endlessly about how it's just pretty blasé, maybe. And then I just feel like that the centering stuff in 2021 let all the air out of the tires on the whole, because no product was more beloved in the past couple of years than OPG Platinum. And people are so excited because you had Cole Caulfield's and Trevor Zegras's, and it was just a wah-wah, like instantly.
It was bad. I mean, it was bad, like completely off-cut, off-center, quality control issues. And you might be right. It did. It took my steam. It took away my steam. I'll tell you that. I mean, if I didn't grab this one box just kind of randomly, I wouldn't probably wouldn't be buying anymore.
So I think we looked at like 8 non-Series 2 sets. So the big question is, well, what have we learned from this? Now, we're lucky, us all, to have you on the show because if you recall, last episode in Mailbag, we had a listener refer to you as the Wax God, Troy. So I'm going to let you go first. Yeah. And I almost wonder if we should change what we call you. what we call you on the show? Should it be like, welcome back to the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast. This is Josh along with the Wax God, and we're excited to bring you another episode where we talk about Connor Bedard for 93 straight hours.
Yes.
We need to set up your new intro. Wax God,
man.
Troy. All right, so what do you make of all this? Like, wait.
I don't know. Like you said, it's random. We're getting some deals in the U.S. Canada's getting some deals. I guess I would say I think I'm surprised some of the older stuff hasn't come down more. Maybe that's my one takeaway, but it's kind of what we expected. Maybe not as big a drop as I think I thought, but anything attached to Bedard's holding up a little bit.
I have a theory though that you got to take all this with a grain of salt because it's still it's like a seedling theory in my brain here. There's like a 6-month thing, like, and I think that's kind of goes to the MVP thing too. It's like once these sets get 6 months old, and if there's still enough of them in inventory, especially a lot of the big retailers, that's when you're going to start to see the big discounts. But okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, again, remember, we're looking at online, David Adams called some chart. Don't be afraid to go to your local card shop and see what they're offering. And hey, they'll probably negotiate if it's been sitting there. If it's one of these older sets that's been sitting there, if they're trying to get rid of it, you can probably get maybe a better deal.
Yeah. So, okay, here's my really quick takeaways. I still hate and wish that there's no MSRP. I mean, I wish there was, because it's like, again, we said these prices are all over the place, and you really have to shop and find your deals. It's annoying. And you talk about going to the expo. I feel like we got to be like quarterbacks that have like the price guides on like the forearm cups or whatever that have like the plays on them, so that when we see a price of, well, I don't know, whatever, like Skybox Metal Universe, that we know like what the price is in the US and if it's a good deal or not. Because we're going to be like glued to our phone looking at wax.
Oh, it's my favorite thing is walking around trying to find the price. Maybe I'll walk around with a Gong Show balloon and then I'll shake it. When I find a good deal, then you have to find the Gong Show balloon and come over there and buy whoever out of it. And make sure that if you want a redemption pack, that they're a diamond dealer. Like we did one time, we got the best deal ever and then realized it wasn't a diamond dealer, so we couldn't get our redemption pack.
Then if you're not a Zigger, you're a Zagger. I think 2022-23 wax is going to struggle with Bedard-Palooza. And the more patient you are, the more deals that you're going to get. I don't see it going up in price anytime soon. So again, that's where I kind of go back to my 6-month rule. But and we'll take a look probably in a month or so and see what's changed and where maybe some of the big discounts are that could be opportunities for people that like these certain sets. All right, Troy, I got to make a quick mention for our partner and sponsor, Slab Sharks, Bedard Sharks. Now. The current Slab Sharks weekly eBay auction ends tonight. How much will the Connor Bedard Red Outburst out of 25 sell for, Troy? Get your popcorn. It's going to be a movie, like these kids say.
Yeah. Do you know what the current bid is?
It's over $20,000, I think, US.
I'll look if I can find it while you talk.
Yeah. Well, and what Troy's doing, he's going to slabsharks.com for a link to the auction. He might place it.
Let's do it now.
Yeah, he might place a bid on that too. You going to get in on that, Troy? You want that no, out of 25?
No.
Well, but that's too rich for your wallet, Troy. Sounds like it is. There's 1,800 other cards in this week's auction. 1,800. That's a lot. And you're asking, well, why are there so many cards? Why are so many people choosing to list their cards with Slab Sharks, Troy? Try to tell everybody why.
Because they're the best, and you need to list your Bedards with them, right? Bedards. When does that answer? Like April or
June 1st? Yeah,
June 1st. So if you for the Bedards, you get the 98% payout rate. So they're only taking
nowhere on earth, unless you like meet a guy at like a Taco Bell bathroom or something like that. You're not gonna, and it's a cash deal. You're not gonna get a deal like that. So
here, if you're looking, here's the Bedard right now, the red one, the Red Outburst. It's right now at 23,600 Canadian.
What's that in the US? Does it do the conversion?
No, I could. Here, hold on. I can do
it's like 17,000, 18,000, something like that. But
look at you, $17,524.06.
I'm basically a Canadian calculator. Part-time job. Yeah. And they do, not only are they like the Bedard spot, they're the spot for almost any hockey cards that you want to sell in Canada, and they make life super easy because they just do all the work. So for complete consignment information, including payout rates, like 98% on all Connor Bedard cards. Go to slapsharks.com. Start the consignment process today. All right. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I wish everybody was watching on YouTube. Here we go, Troy. We have a new segment.
There it is.
Called Unsolved Hobby Mysteries.
Love it.
Very excited about this. We don't know if this will be the one and only or if it lasts. We're going to rely on listeners and watchers to tell us if you like it or not. So here's what happened. We had a fan of the show reach out to us with a hobby mystery that's had this person stumped for a very long time. It's like 6 months, and they're just dying to know what's going on with this card. And we thought, well, we need content ideas, and we reach a fair amount of people, and maybe somebody knows about this card.
Yeah.
And, you're a big fan of like X-Files, like you kind of like mysteries, and
Yep.
and I like Scooby-Doo, right? And so I'm a big fan of the Scooby-Doo gang and solving mysteries there too. So it's Pat's 90s who contacted us on Instagram, and I said he's got this card that we're going to show you right now.
All right.
That he's been wondering about for the last 6 months. It's from the 1996-97 Leaf NHL hockey set. This one's a Pavel Bure, but there's a sweaters card that are 2 variations. It's kind of meant to be home and away. Now,
am I showing the right one? Is this the one?
Yeah. I'm gonna solve this mystery for you, Troy.
Okay,
make sure there's a lot of mystery.
Keep me in line because I was a little confused on the picture. So
the home and away, right? Because Pavel in this case is wearing the dark jersey, and you're like, well, that's not the home jersey. The background is the home jersey.
So if that's the next,
and then on
I got you.
You got
yeah. I got you.
So I saw a couple other players' cards where it was much more obvious that they were like the background, like they had like the V in the front on it and stuff like that. And so it's not the jersey that Pavel Bure is wearing in the photo; it's the background that.
Wow.
The 2 variations.
Why would you do that? Confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways.
Well, not only that, this card was numbered. The away jersey has a black background. It's out of 5,000.
Here's the away one I'm showing.
Yep. See, because now he's on the dark jersey. The home jersey has a white background and is out of 1,000. To mix it up further, because why not make it more confusing? For each variation, there was a promo card. The promo cards are numbered. In the case of a home card, like the one in question, it's not like a number out of it. It's like XXXX out of 1,000. And then the aways are XXXX out of 5,000. Yep. So it's got these weird serial numbers. And so all this jives with what you'd see in TCDB.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, Troy. Go back to the front of the slab there. That's GC slab.
Yes.
Now, this is, Troy, where you need to hold on to your Sherlock Holmes hat and stuff that cherry pipe because it's going to get weirder.
For it.
And here's where the mystery. On the slab, this card is graded along. It's a very, very old SGC slab. It says 1996-97 Leaf, Pavel Bure, sweaters, and H for home. Okay, we're all on board there. But then it says EX Master Set Ed, which stands for Executive Master Set Edition. So there's a post by a Bure collector who says that he has this card with the XXX out of a 1,000 serial number on the back, and that it's part of this Executive Master Set Edition, but it's a 101. Now you go to TCDB and you go to the promos that they say are numbered XXXX out of 1,000. And it doesn't mention anything about Master Set Edition, and a number of these have sold. There isn't one, so there's a number of sales. So herein lies the mystery, right? We know it's a sweaters card. It's a nice looking card, actually.
Yeah, really nice.
At a time, Leaf made nice stuff, right? Before they got all did freaky, scary drawings of players and blank jerseys, right? Because they lost their license. So what we're trying to figure out is, what is this card? Is it just a promo? And if it is, how many were made? Is it a 101? Is there a difference between the promo and the master set? Like, in theory, right? So if the regular card is out of 1,000, and like the regular base card out of it that's actually has a serial number out of 1,000, that sale's like $150. So it's not like this is a $2 card.
No.
is there more copies of the XXXX ones than 1,000? Because maybe they printed like 40,000 promo cards, and actually the more rare card are the numbered ones, or are the promo ones super rare, or is the promo really the executive master set edition, whatever that means, or are they two separate things? What is going on here? So herein lies the unsolved hobby mystery. So if anyone knows about these and can clarify, we would love to know. We would love to pass on to Pat's 90s on Instagram, because he's been spending 6 months looking into this. And then who knows if people like this and we can solve the mystery and, create another happy hobby ending, we might do it again. So are you confused? Do you get it?
I remember I called you last night about this card because we were we got the message and we're going through it. And I'm like, I'm trying to reiterate what I think is going on. And then you're like, well, wait, now look at this. Because I was totally under the impression that he's in a black jersey. I'm like, well, that's got to be away, because this is back in 96, 97. That's when they wore away jerseys. But then you're like, no, it's the background. I'm like, oh my gosh. Hobby mystery. So let's go. Someone might, I'm assuming someone out there knows something about these.
You know what I just noticed about this picture too? And sorry if you're not.
Well, it's got one leg.
Yeah, it looks like his left leg was amputated.
Yeah, you see his 2 feet, but it's like, it looks like he's got one leg.
It's weird that we both noticed that. All right. 1996, 97 Leaf sweaters, whatever it is, Pavel Bure. That's the current unsolved hobby mystery. Well, we're going to go back to Rookie Deep Dive, where I think we missed a week of it. But remember, it's where we kind of put up a couple of rookies on social media. We let you guys vote, and then you pick one we should spend some time learning more about. And as 2023-24 Series 2 is out, for this week, we picked 4 more rookies that we haven't covered yet from that release. But just for posterity's sake, we're going to look back at all the rookies we've covered from 2023-24 so far. Troy loves it when this list gets like endlessly long. It's kind of getting there already. So
there it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of who are the Series 2 guys, because all the Series 1 guys are kind of old news. Matthew Pourtois, Pavel Minchikov, we've covered.
Yeah.
Was Evangelista, is he Series 1 or Series? No, Evangelista. And then Leo Carlson was last week. So this week's candidates were Zach Benson, Connor Zary, Ty Carty, and Bobby McMahon. And it wasn't even close, Troy.
Yeah.
With 48% of the vote, Zach Benson. A lot of interest in him and learning more about him. And I honestly didn't know much about him until we did our show prep. Did you?
I did, because of a video that I'm not sure. I don't want to spoil anything. Do you talk about him? Is there anything in your write-up about him and hockey cards?
No.
Okay. There's a video of him. I think it was Upper Deck. He might have been opening packs of cards, and he pulled his own Young Guns. So he pulled his own Young Guns and signed it. And I don't know if he gave it away or what he's doing with it, but it was kind of funny just watching his reaction. He's like, "Oh, I pulled myself."
He's got a very interesting story. So I'm kind of excited. So this week's Rookie Deep Dive, Zach Benson. Troy, Zachary Ruben Benson is a Canadian hockey player. That's not the first shocking revelation.
No, not
He
shocking.
seems to be one of these Matthew Tkachuk-ish mouthguard chewers.
Yep.
A lot of photos of him with the I'm going to say mouthguard is not very effective when it's 90% hanging out of your mouth. Now, we've observed the trend of some smaller, like skill guys, and Zach definitely fits that bill, Troy. He's coming in at 5'10", 159 pounds. Yeah. Probably a little heavier now.
Wow, 150. There's high school freshmen that are way more than that.
No. He's just 18 years old. Hails from Chilliwack, British Columbia.
That's my favorite city now.
Well, we're back. We took a break. You don't notice, but and no, I didn't just hit puberty in my 40s. So I've been talking to this microphone thing, and I think I've been talking into my the camera mic the whole time. So this has been like a prop, but now it's the real mic.
I was telling Josh, I thought he sounded different, but I was like, well, it's probably because I was on junk internet. I was using headphones I was just because of the last show. and then we paused and he came back on and he hit like some button or his mic got picked up by the computer and it was like, whoa, okay, yes, you were on crappy microphone earlier. So again, another sound issue for the Gong Show. Apologies. It's not that bad, but now this one sounds a lot better.
Well, it's hard enough to do a podcast when you can't ever get like lucky with technology. Well, I'm glad though, because this is the most exciting part. So I'm glad that I have the best audio now.
Yeah, because he's
We're
from
talking
Chilliwack,
From
British
Chilliwack,
Columbia.
he's teeny tiny small, where he grew up a carny.
Nice.
His family, the Benson family, right? His name is Benson. They own a family business that supplies rides and attractions for carnivals.
Nice.
So here's young Zach, if you're watching, working at the mini donut stand or whatever it is for the family business. No way I'm betting him dollars to donuts because he obviously understands donut economics way, way too well.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got a hobby challenge. Somebody's got to get a Benson IP auto with inscription of dollars to donuts. On it. We will pay huge money for it, probably like tens of dollars, or we'll trade it for a signed photo of Troy with holding his button bar, and he'll inscribe it Wax God.
I almost bought one yesterday. I know which one I'm getting, so probably after I've done edit, I'll buy it. I know which one.
I'm holding my breath. So he would basically spend the summer in an RV traversing all through Western Canada in his youth, and it kind of made it, where it's relevant to his hockey is because they were all over the place. Like they would have to find ice for him and find camps and opportunities for him to, because he's very hockey obsessed, in order to play the game. Yeah. Oh, and it's kind of funny too. I had here my notes that, he would traverse Western Canada in his youth, and it seems ridiculous to say something like that, Troy, to somebody who's all of 18 years old. Like back in the day when Zach was a kid. So in Western Canada, Troy, where Zach Benson's from, he grew up playing hockey with another young NHL player you might have heard of named Connor Bedard.
Mm.
And I've kind of wondered too if like we've come to this point now where anything we ever talk about NHL related is basically going to be 6 degrees of separation from Connor Bedard.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Right. Oh, and I said like maybe if we want to, here's where I have another note. If we had a button bar, which would be awesome, which we'll probably never have.
Button bar's flustering you.
It is flustering me. Well, we could do like a ding every time we mention Connor Bedard. Ding, Connor Bedard, ding.
There. Hold on. Keep going. I'll get us a ding.
Well, okay. Now, speaking of Bedsy, he had a quote. He had stuff to say about Zach Benson. And when asked before last summer's draft, he said, he's a hell of a player. Bedard said of Benson, got all that skill, and he's a hound on the puck. A little colorful language there from Connor. I don't know if he knows it's a family show, but he apparently is a Zach Benson fan. Benson played with the youth program called the Yale Academy, which is in the Canadian Sports School Bantam Prep League. I would assume easily one of your top 5 favorite prep leagues, Troy. You a big fan of the...
What was the name of this program again?
Well, I have a picture that you could put. The Yale Academy.
I was making sure you got it right.
Yale Academy. Canadian Sports School Bantam Prep League.
So I'm wondering if this is kind of like we have in Minnesota Breakaway Academy. And it's one of those things where we also have Shattuck. It's one of those things where academics are very secondary in nature. Hockey is the first thing. And we see kids come out of these places and not know how to do much academically, but hey, they're really good hockey players and they can stick handle, I guess.
Well, after 30 goals and 86 points in 30 games at U15, kind of put him squarely on the WHL radar, and he was selected 14th overall in the first round by your Winnipeg Ice, Troy, in the WHL Bantam draft in 2020.
Okay.
I think the Winnipeg Ice have moved now to Washington State, but at the time they were the Winnipeg Ice. This is funny. You're going to love this. Here's what Winnipeg Ice head coach James Patrick said about Benson when he met him for the first time. Here's a quote. The very first time Zach was on, he's 15 at the time. He looked like he was 10, Patrick recalled. I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying 10 years old. He could have fit in with a group of 10-year-old kids. So
that's pretty hilarious.
Pretty baby-faced. Well, Benson would go on to play 3 seasons for the Ice. the shortened 2020 COVID campaign, and then 2021-22, and then last year in 2022-23. Young Zach was pretty good from the get-go in the WHL. He averaged about 0.5 goals per game over those 3 years. And then last season, which would have been 2022-23, he had 36 goals, 62 assists, and 98 points in 60 games played, which was good enough for third in the WHL in scoring behind Chase Wheatcroft. And you got it, Troy, Connor Bedard. Hit the button bar. You have one of those?
Did you hear it?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it on. No, it's just on my phone. But I'm set up now.
Phone?
Every time you say it, I'm going to play it.
Yeah, no, we'll never get a button bar. There you go. Well, that got him plenty of attention from NHL scouts, and especially Troy from scouts in Buffalo, because one of his teammates with the Ice is a guy that Buffalo had already drafted, Matthew Savoy.
Mm.
So Buffalo would end up drafting Benson with the 13th overall pick in last summer's NHL entry draft. Some NHL draft pundits saw it was a steal because he's real high offensive ability, probably some concern over his size and maybe on the defensive end of the puck. But he would immediately sign, almost immediately, his 3-year NHL entry level contract after the draft. He had a fantastic training camp, was like a point per game player through the exhibition season, and made the Sabres opening night roster. And he's been up and down a little bit. You'd expect from a pretty young 18-year-old who apparently looks like he's 12 and not named Connor Bedard. There we go. Put it, and then the other thing too that about him making the Sabres is because he's 18 and the NHL and CHL have an agreement that prohibits him from playing in the AHL, he's kind of had to ride out the whole year with the Sabres. So he didn't get the Shane Wright press box treatment by any stretch. Through 55 games played this season, Benson has 7 goals, 14 assists for 21 points. That ties him with Ottawa's Ridley Gregg for 14th most amongst active Calder eligible rookies in points. His 7 goals is 18th on the rookie leaderboard. Recently, he's been playing Troy on Buffalo's second line with Dylan Cousins and Jordan Greenway, former Wild player.
Yep.
No power play time for him recently, though, so he's having to produce at 5-on-5. Probably isn't a horrible thing for your development, right? Got to figure out 5-on-5 before the PP. And with Casey Middlestat recently traded to Colorado, there's going to be a little bit more pressure on him, and Buffalo is going to probably put him in some elevated situations, get him some more lineup opportunities because they're going to need him to produce. Zach Benson, Troy, is a 2023-24 Series 2 Young Guns, just out last week. Currently, his base Young Guns selling for about $10 to $15 raw, and his canvas going for a little bit more. I talked about this last show. It's this weird thing where right canvases are actually more valuable right away than the base cards. His canvas is selling for about $20 US raw. So there's Zach Benson. Okay. Big set coming out about a week from now. Set we're very, very excited about. 2022-23 Parkhurst Champions. We're going to go over the designs and checklist, Troy, for that set. It comes out on March 20th. Now, you and I have both been looking forward to this for a very, very long time. Checklist, of course, is out, which is a key sign that the new release is imminent. Yep. This set has been delayed endlessly. This is like the 45,000th release date, but checklist, I have a high degree of confidence that it's coming out next Wednesday. So that's awesome news. It is a 2022-23 set, so it's going to have that rookie class that features Beniers, Boldy, Slavkovsky, Marco Rossi, Owen Power et al. Okay, so we're going to go through this. We're going to go through it in depth, and then I'm really interested to see how this conversation changes your level of enthusiasm for picking up some Parkhurst Champions. The base set configuration is kind of interesting on this one. There's 350 total cards in the base set. That's broken down by 260 veterans, 140 base rookies, 25 Troy rookie short prints, and 25 legend short prints. So
40 base rookies.
40 base rookies, I'm sorry. And so I think the most interesting thing is that they broke up the rookies on the checklist. So the 40 base rookies are going to be names that you're probably not all that excited about unless you're related to that person. And then the SPs are kind of the guys that you're chasing.
Yeah.
For the base, vets and rookies, so this would be 300 of the 350, so not the rookie SPs. There's also 7 parallels. There's silver, which are there's one in every hobby pack. Rainbow, 1 in 5 hobby packs. A color variation, 1 in 11. Gold rainbow, 1 out of 21. Red out of 51. Black out of 10. Printing plate, 101s.
Yep.
The 25 rookie SPs, again, have the main rookie chases on the checklist. So this is going to be Slavkovsky, Kuzmenko, Shane Wright, Jake Sanderson, Wyatt Johnston, Marco Rossi, Kent Johnson, Jack Quinn, Matty Beniers, Boldy, Owen Power, all those guys. Base rookie SPs are 1 in 6.7 hobby packs. There's the same 7 parallels, but a little bit tougher pack odds, so harder chase. So silver parallels are 1 in 27 hobby pack odds. Rainbow, 1 out of 133 hobby packs. Color variation, 1 in 267. Gold rainbow, 1 in 533. Red out of 51. Black out of 10. And 101 printing plates. The toughest chase of the base are the 25 legend short prints. Pack odds just for base of 1 in 20 hobby packs. Most of the 25 players are like the biggest legend, the creme de la creme. So it's your Gretzky, Messier, Yager, Lemieux, Yzerman, Hasek, Brodeur, Bobby Orr, Patrick Waugh, Gordie Howe, etc. Again, these have the toughest pack odds for the same 7 parallels. So silver parallels, 1 out of 80 packs. Rainbow, 1 out of 104 or 1 out of 400 packs. Color variation, 1 out of 800 packs. Gold rainbow, 1 in 1,600 packs, and then has the red out of 51, black out of 10, and 101 parallels. So the legends, it's kind of like a legends driven set, right? Where they're making those the toughest chases. Of course, to even throw another wrench in there, there's also a set of photo variations of the base, which has like the 21 cards in it, kind of the biggest names. It's a mix of vets and rookies, pack odds like 1 in 480 packs. Now we're going to get into the auto version. So the base set has auto versions. There's 148 cards on the checklist. Vet pack odds are 1 in 120. Rookies are 1 in 90. So we're showing Matty Beniers rookie auto on YouTube. No. This isn't Matty Beniers. So that's like the rookies. Nobody knows who they are. SP rookies are 1 in 180. So Beniers would be on that list. And then legend autos would be 1 in 600 hobby packs. There's also a blue base auto parallel, 144 cards on the checklist. Again, it's a mix of vets, rookies, and legends. These are numbered out of 15 or 25. These look pretty good. We're showing Doug Gilmour.
I want this card. Like the Doug Gilmour we're showing on YouTube. I want this card right now. That's awesome.
This one's out of 15, right?
Yes.
He's got a cool autograph. Actually.
Yeah, very cool.
There's memorabilia parallels of the base as well. There's a base of jersey, 215 players on the checklist. 1 in 160 pack odds for vets, 1 in 250 for no-name rookies. Is there a nicer way to say that?
Just not marquee rookies.
Not marquee. The loser rookies are 1 in 250. No, non-marquee rookies will be gentle here. 1 in 250 pack odds. The SP rookies are 1 in 440 pack odds. SP Legends, 1 in 3,600 packs. Wow. There's also base patches, because why not? Let's just have every flavor of ice cream here.
Yep.
Some are just patches. Some have patch autos. It's kind of look up the checklist. They're either out of 10, 25, or 35. I think we're showing a AM34 one here. Okay. So that's kind of the base. Interesting how they separate the rookies. I think, though, that like the main attraction for this set are the 51 retros based on the 1951 Parker set. Very, very excited about these, Troy. 100 players on the checklist. It's a mix of vets, rookies, and legends. All have the same pack odds. So base are 1 in 8 hobby packs. So there's like Bobby Orr. If you're watching on YouTube. Yeah.
That's just fan. I don't care. This is awesome.
Yeah, if that doesn't get you in all the warm hobby fuzzies, I don't know what will.
I can tell with like at the end what you're gonna ask me, kind of how the legends are so hard to hit, but man, these are cool.
Then there's something called the wrapper back parallel. We didn't see a photo of that. 1 in 40 pack odds. I don't think it's wrapper with a W, so it's not like Jay-Z's on the back or anything? It's a rapper.
I wonder if it's a throwback to where the old Parkies had where you could win or you could send in for like a glove
skate
or
blades?
skates or
Yeah.
if it's some kind of thing like that or what they're gonna do with it.
This next one, the gold rainbow out of 51. Oh,
Someone doesn't like Crosby though. I can tell they gave him a dirty
Why?
mouth picture. Why are we so fascinated with this? And why are they showing up so much recently?
dirty mouth.
Yeah,
Sidney
look at that. He's
Crosby.
like, but looks great. The card looks cool, like shiny gold. Again, though, it's that dull gold. I think it's kind of like the seismic golds in the new OPG Platinum release, even like this one. Now, I don't have the card in hand, so I could be totally wrong. This is probably just the base based off the 51, but this gold is kind of looking dull.
Are we in the dull gold hobby era? Is that what this is?
Maybe they know. Maybe they're trendsetters. They know more than we do.
There's also printing plates 101 for the base parallels as well. Now there's autos, which again, this gets very, very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So the 51 retros have base cards, have autos. Vets are 1 in 360 packs. Rookie is 1 in 360 packs. And Legends, 1 in 1,920 packs.
Yeah, I know where this is going. Ugh.
Then there's 51 retros red auto parallels, Troy.
Hey,
66 players on the checklist. Oh, there's Uncle Wayne Gretzky, right? That's kind of been like the card we've seen ever since the set was announced. But yeah, pretty awesome. So 66 players on the checklist, vets, rookies, and legends. All are big names. These are tough. They're all out of 5.
Yeah.
So they're going to go for big money. And then lastly for autos, there's a couple of cut auto sets. Now we don't see cut autos a heck of a lot in, I don't.
Leaf will do a lot more. Leaf does a lot more cut autos than Upper Deck does.
So there's some like booklets like called like Mem-able, like memorable, right? That have some cut out like old school legends like Bobby Hall, Guy Lafleur, Jean Beliveau. And then they have another site called Parkhurst Cuts, which we did get a few photos from the Upper Deck gallery here. There's a King Clancy 101. Now, this is where like maybe the whole like hand numbering thing goes to poop on that because like I have this like romantic notion when a card's hand numbered that the player numbered it.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think
you're a lot more into the hand numbering than I am, but
oh yeah.
I just never knew how I really felt about cut autos, but you see those ones where it's Babe Ruth or even this King Clancy. It's pretty crazy that you could have an actual autograph from them, even though it's cut. I think they're growing on me. I think they're pretty cool.
What's wild about these cards is they don't look like Upper Deck cards. They look like President's Choice or Leaf or something like that, because I think we associate cut autos with sort of this is like a move that one of those companies would have to do to compete with the fact that they don't have the license.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that it's bad. It just doesn't look like an Upper Deck. Another cool, and they got a Happy Day auto.
So why does Happy? Why doesn't he have a picture? Do they not have a license for his picture?
I don't know.
That's very.
Did we just find our next unsolved hobby mystery, Troy?
That one's easy though. I'm gonna message Billy and ask him why does Happy Day not have a picture.
Then we get into the inserts, and that's where this. I cannot wait, dude. You are gonna. Oh, you haven't read ahead, have you?
No, I haven't read ahead at all.
Oh no, you're fine. Go back.
Okay.
I cannot wait. You are gonna. I think you're gonna be like flummoxed in I'm predicting a good way. So there's some kind of wild inserts. There's Jukebox Heroes. I don't know if this is a die cut. I don't think it is.
I don't think so either. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't mind this. I know a lot of people are going to hate on it, but it's 50s, right? That's what they're going. I'm assuming it's a jukebox. It's the 1950 retros.
Oh, it's definitely 50s, and we'll get to that in a second. So Jukebox Heroes, 20 cards on the set. Yeah, it's like them on top of like a 50s jukebox. It's all vets. 1 in 25 hobby pack odds. There's a gold parallel. 1 in 200 packs. There are printing plate 101. So you like these. The next one is I think the one I've heard more comments about. The
Yes. Wow.
It's like
Okay,
a pirate's treasure chest that the player's like jumping out of. I don't really
why is
understand
his
it.
stick coming out like that? He's not.
Well, and like, is his
He
leg
can't
up
be
in the
holding
air?
that with two hands, can he? His other hand's here. I don't know.
Troy, when you magically appear out of a pirate chest, I don't think like your stick placement is the. You're kind of burying the lead there, buddy.
Oh, I love this. This is a fantastic card.
So there's 30 players on. No, this is not even what I'm excited about. The next one is gonna. You cannot look
Oh
ahead.
no, I won't.
There's 30 players on the checklist. It's basically 2021-22 and 2022-23 rookies. So it's like the Cole Caulfield class and the
dual rookie class for the pirate chest. I love it.
Dual rookie class for the pirate chest.
Or
Yeah,
tomorrow's
very big
riches.
decision.
I'm sorry, tomorrow's riches.
Tomorrow's riches. Pirate chest, though. We can call it that. Base pack odds for hobby are 1 in 17. Gold parallel, 1 in 133 packs, and printing plates 101.
All right.
Okay, Troy. This next one, I'm so sad there's no picture. It's called 50s Flashbacks, and I think it's right up your alley.
Here we go.
What's the set I was thinking about?
Allen and Ginter. Like, you are thinking of Allen and Ginter.
But is that the upper deck set? I thought that's
Goodwin Champions then.
Goodwin Champions. That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
There's 15 cards on the checklist. I'm going to go through all 15, and believe me, it's worth it.
Yes.
Card number 1 is Color TV introduced.
Love it.
Number 2, electricity from nuclear power plant. Number 3, Harry Truman, 33rd president. Number 4, the Great Flood of Kansas. Then Layson Albatross is hatched.
Okay.
Banana cream pie, Troy.
That's total Allen and Ginter would have like food cards in their releases. So that banana cream pie, all for it.
Coast to Coast direct dialing, number 7. Ledsey Astronomers, whatever that is. First North Pole jet crossing. Okay. United Nations publishes stamps. Videotape recorder invented. Power steering invented. Gordie Howe wins the Art Ross trophy. That's so random.
There we go. Now there's a hockey one.
X-ray machine, and then the last one is gallon of gas costs 27 cents. People are going to freak out about these. They're going to be so mad because
are there parallels? Do you know if there's parallels of them?
I don't think so. I don't
know. I liked Allen and Ginter though. I get it. Allen and Ginter has that like pedigree that it's going to have these off cards. I don't know what you want to call them. Allen Ginter is such a weird set. Goodwin Champions kind of falls into that realm, but I always think Allen and Ginter is a little weirder. But yeah, I'm curious what these look like. I get what they're going for. These are probably all things that happened in the 50s, which is what they're throwing back to. So they're trying something new. I don't mean they're trying something. I don't mind it. We'll see how the hobby reacts, but
you can't include the Gordie Howe one. Of the other 14, which one do you predict sells for the most money?
That's a great question. I'm gonna go with holy cow. I'm gonna say banana cream pie.
That's what I'm going with too.
Yeah, maybe gallon of gas because gas is so expensive now. It'll be nostalgia when it was 20. Like my nostalgia is I remember when gas was 99 cents.
Yeah. Okay, moving along. There's All-Star Legends, just 20 cards in it. Very tough, 1 in 200 hobby pack odds.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah. Patrick.
Is that a die? Is it a? Oh no, it's a cardboard card. I thought it was a clear.
Then there's wire images that I think there's like some auto parallels, like mostly vets. I think there's 1 or 2 rookies in it. I don't have a picture. It's like Matt Boldy might be the one rookie on the checklist.
Okay.
1 in 14 base hobby pack odds, gold parallel 1 in 144, printing plate 101. 2. So, like we said, 2022-23 Parkhurst Champions comes out next Wednesday, March 20th. Right now, Troy, David Adams in the U.S. pre-selling for $120 US.
Buy all day.
Colton Chara pre-selling around 165 Canadian. So it's pretty close to equivalent, I think. There's 20 packs per box and 8 cards per pack. In each hobby box, here's what you're going to get. 1 autograph memorabilia card per box. Does the inventor, the banana cream pie, like, do they sign one of those?
So is it autograph or memorabilia, or is it autograph?
I don't know.
I think that's saying you get an autograph or a memorabilia. So I think so too. Word it.
4 base set rainbow parallel cards. 7 insert cards. So there's going to be lots of pirate chests. 2 base set color variations. And 1 additional hit per box. What it doesn't say, Troy, is it doesn't say you're guaranteed a retro. That's the one thing that has me a little kind of about.
Yeah, and I'm
But
guessing
now that we've
because
done the checklist review, what do you think? Are you still pumped?
Oh, I'm still pumped. I mean, I'm really curious. I will get a box of this, and I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't looking up cases earlier of how much it would be, but I am gonna get this. I want to see it in hand because I right now I think I'm gonna like SP Signature Edition Legends better from just what I'm seeing of this product, but I'm still gonna get a box of this, maybe a case, probably a box or a couple boxes. I still like what I'm seeing, but again, I like there's definitely not as many legends in this as there was in Legends, using the term very loosely with SP Signature Edition Legends, but I still like what I'm seeing in this set.
And $120, it feels like a steal given the current state of wax, which is pretty sad. But yeah, what's your prediction about? Is this a sleeper hit? Does it have the same impact SP Legends had? Or is it kind of a niche product that some people like weirdos like us are just very excited about?
I think it's going to be more niche. I think SP Signature Edition Legends was like they captured the essence of what a great set with retro players is. This is obviously either harking back to the 50s, the Parkhurst and stuff. But again, there's not all the old players in this are legends, like truly legends. Or I think there's something special about SP Signature Edition where they had some of those guys that you're nostalgic, you remember them, but they weren't legends. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they never really got their shine, right?
Harold Snaps when he like guys like that, but it was still awesome to see those guys at cards, and you could get autographs. Now I know some people get mad because of the box price, and I don't know what that box price still is. It over 200 still for SP Signature if you can find it. Pretty sure it's still
right around 200.
Is it? Yeah.
I've been watching too. Secondary market sales haven't been bad for like All-Time Future Watch, but they're pretty flat.
Oh, Josh, you're gonna like this. It's 300 a box now for SP Signature Edition at David Adams.
Oh, yeah. Well, there might just not be enough. Who knows how much of that Upper Deck printed, and that could be another factor for Parkhurst too. Is we're guessing they printed Series 2 to the moon, right?
Yes,
but maybe they, this is a brand new set. It's a brand new concept. They might not print it as much. And then we asked Billy and he kind of didn't want to get in trouble. He sort of like hint, wink, wink, smile, smile. When we asked him if there's a 2023-24 Parkhurst Champions already planned. And I don't know, who knows what they would do, if it'd be the same 51 retros or not, but can you imagine a Bedard 51 retro auto?
Oh, hold on.
Every time
I played the ad. That's sad. I had it all ready to go.
It's like poor man's button bar. He's not going to cut it. And ding. Right. So got our Bedard quota. We went like 10 minutes without saying his name. So I probably lost half of our audience. Right? We got to keep that up, Yeah, I'm super excited. Cannot wait. And I would rather throw money at that for some reason than Series 2. I don't know why. I still do think, though, we're going to see like people complaining about, I spent $120 on a hockey card box and I got Harry Truman as a president was my insert.
Like what was it Mitch was talking about was it one of the cup releases where they had
they had like Tiger Wood cards or something
Tiger Woods or something, and Mitch's stand was like, well, hey, you got a autographed Tiger Woods card or something, or I can't remember if they're autos or what, but yeah, I'm sure they're
like Showtime or Showstopper or something like that.
Yeah. Obviously not in the same realm as a banana cream pie, but
that's amazing. Well, Troy, got to give a shout out to PWCC Gongshow partner and sponsor. We are super grateful, of course, to them for their support. Reminder, the March premiere auction is live, runs through next Thursday, March 21st. Head to pwccmarketplace.com to check out the 3 hockey cards in this month's premiere and place your bids. And while you're there, remember the PWCC fixed price marketplace has over 5,400 hockey cards to peruse and maybe make some offers are. And then finally, the weekly auction is live as well. It ends this upcoming Sunday night. I'll be live with Jeremy Lee on his YouTube channel, Sports Cards Live, covering all the key hockey cards, closing in the current weekly auction and interacting with y'all in the chat. Our show starts at 8:30 Central. hope to see you all there. Who knows? Sometimes even Troy heckles the show from the chat. Kind of
I always
fun.
have to announce who I am because my
Yeah.
YouTube is like T_I is how I show up.
Oh. Well, try and honor the current weekly auction like we do every week. We picked out our favorite vintage and modern cards to highlight. And we're going to start with our vintage picks for this week. So a little bit Captain Obvious, but I don't think so. This is going to be a fun one to talk about. It's a 1979 OPG Wayne Gretzky rookie PSA 7. Now, Troy, this card received an above-average eye appeal rating from PWCC, putting it in their estimation in the top 30% of the OPG Gretzky PSA 7s.
All right.
For a grade like PSA 7, this card has a pretty high pop. It's a 1,346. So if it's in the top 30%, I think that's kind of a significant designation. So top 30% would be in the top 400 of them graded. I think there's a lot to like about this OPG Gretzky rookie, Troy. I'm going to see if you agree. Well, the centering's not perfect left to right. It's pretty dang close. We've seen
it's pretty dang close.
So if you're like a centering snob, I think there's a good chance you can live with this one. The registration is crazy. Like if you're a registration person, look at the oil drop placements on his jersey and that's about as good as you're ever going to see.
Yeah, it's like maybe a little, like maybe a smidge over, but
that's nitpicky.
That's very nitpicky.
As far as registration, maybe the yellow plate is like the tiniest bit offset, but man, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's just a little. You can see it on the R. Here,
I think the edges on the cards are really nice too, Troy. Good edges, and so there's a lot to like. Now, if you're like, well, why is this a 7? What are the issues? Probably the biggest thing I noticed is in his right shoulder blade, there's a fisheye. So if fisheyes drive you crazy, that might be an issue you have to deal with. There might be a little bit of black smudging if you go down like right there, of the ink there. And then like I think, Troy, like any PSA 7, you're gonna have a little bit of corner wear, but I don't find the corners really obnoxious or distracting. So I feel like that this probably is a top 30% of the PSA 7s. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, this card looks great. I mean, I like it because when I first look at it, it's just boom, the centering is dang near really good. And that oil drop is almost perfect. Almost perfect.
Does the fisheye bug you?
No, because I didn't even see it until you pointed it out.
Okay.
But that's where this is where you send it off to one of the card cleaning people. Can they figure out how to get rid of the fisheye?
I don't think they can do that.
Speaking of that, before we jumped on, Victor, what's his name? The basketball guy, Wembanyama or something. I think his black 101 was pulled, and it got a PSA 10. And the guy that thanked it or got it, he thanked one of those guys. It might have been Kurt's Card Care. And then PSA just released a statement saying, if we would have been able to tell it was used chemicals or anything, we would have considered it altered. So now there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And again, it's a basketball card. I don't care about basketball, but I just thought that was interesting. Never mind. Sorry.
It's a 101 though. Who cares?
Yeah.
If it's a 9 or does it really change the value? Yeah, I don't get it. Okay, but back to the Gretzky. So if you let's pretend that you're in the market for a Wayne Gretzky rookie, is this a card that you would consider?
Yeah, I would for sure consider this. Obviously, I don't think I have the budget for it, but I would consider it.
Yeah, we'll find out. I thought this was interesting, Troy. Card ladder sales history going back to January 12th, 2004. And 6,000 sales of a 1979 OPG Wayne Gretzky rookie card in one form or another. More than 10,000 tops, 1979 tops have sold, which is kind of interesting. There's been 556 sales lifetime. Well, if lifetime is in the terms of card ladder in 2004 of a 1979 OPG Gretzky PSA 7. The last sale, so sale 556, was March 11th, $4,390 US.
I take that back. I could be in that range.
You get 15, 20 of them. All-time high, mind-blowing 15,000.
I'm out at that price.
Yeah. So less than a case of Series 2, you could get this card.
Oh, Josh, keep talking. Okay, never mind. No, I looked it up. I forgot to look up the bids.
Oh.
I know it now, though.
What's the bid?
3,400 US.
You kind of panicked for a minute. I didn't know what to say. I was just going to repeat Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard, Connor Bedard, Connor Bedard, Connor Bedard, Connor Bedard.
Wait, Gretzky, start reading off Gretzky facts or something. No, I forgot to look at the bid.
Yeah, so that's I thought it was a worthy card to bring up just because of the condition.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
A very lucky person, I think, will win that card. All right, you have the next pick.
I do. 1924 V145-2. Billy Birch, number 13, PSA 5. PSA pop, 1 of 2 with just 1 graded higher. If you're watching on YouTube, I put it up. And again, these always fall right in my wheelhouse. They're not a guy we've ever talked about on the show. And Josh, I went back and looked at past shows. We've only talked about a card from this set one other time. And
Really?
I think you brought it up, and it was like on a February show of this year. So that cracked me up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Is
remember.
Billy Birch, is he related to Monty Maple?
I don't think so, but Monty Maple's a great name.
Yeah.
All right, so this falls in the wheelhouse for me. Old card. We don't talk about the player a lot, and I know nothing about him. So we're going to do my favorite format of start with the info on the set, look at the card, and then finally learn about the player. So this is a 1924 V145-2. And I had to look at Bobby Rail's vintage hockey book again, get some background stuff. The full set name is the 1924-25 William Patterson V145-2. These are blank back cards, Josh. We love our blank backs. There it is in all its glory. That measure 1 in 11/16 inches by 3 inches and sport a greenish black tone. Set includes 60 cards. The Boston Bruins and Montreal Maroons entered the NHL for the 24-25 season, and its players are included in the set along with players from the Ottawa Senators, Hamilton Tigers, Montreal Canadiens, and Toronto St. Patrick's. On the card themselves, there's a thin black border around the photo, and then there's the big white area on the edge for the big main border. And below the photo is the card number down here at the little left, player's name, team, and National Hockey League text. So, Josh, this card, PSA 5, only 1 graded higher, which is a PSA 7, and there's only 13 graded copies of this card at PSA ever. So,
eBay 101.
eBay 101. But I'll tell you this, for a PSA 5, boy, I think this card looks really nice. PSA 5.
That does.
Slightly off center, left to right, kind of like the Gretzky, just slightly off center. You can tell it's off center, but slightly off. Top to bottom centering. I looked at past examples. I have no idea if it's off, if it's where it's supposed to be. It looks like it's pretty good. I don't know. I don't even know where it would be off if it is.
Yeah.
So that's something you'd have to do maybe a bigger investigation if that's something that concerns you. I went on eBay. What's that?
Billy Birch here inspired Wayne Gretzky for the turtleneck era.
Oh, maybe. A lot of guys were turtlenecks back then. Gretzky just brought it back. Corners, really good. There's definitely slight rounding, and you can see a little darkening or some wear on them. But again, this card is 100 years old, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. And there's also, you see this red mark on the left here. Just be aware of that. Looks like some smudging, or I don't know if it was a pen or what hit it, but there's some red there. And then at the bottom left, I can zoom in probably a little bit. But there's the red mark. Bottom left, you can see a little bit of wear. And if you go look at eBay for like raw copies for sale, it looks like these cards are pretty notorious for this to take like the whole white to be just eroded. So this is actually a pretty good copy. Like a lot of them have erosion just into the card. So this one looks really, really nice. And I'm guessing that's why there's only 13 graded copies ever at PSA.
How much hair product did he use, do you think?
Wait, I bet he's got the grease, man. That's just full grease in that hair. And then another thing I noticed too, and I think this is more to how clear or good the PWC pictures are. You can actually see like the dots on the picture of the printing, but you go look at like eBay on lesser quality photos and you can't really see those. So I think that's more due to how clear the image capture is on PWCC. But again, go look at some other copies to see. But I think that's why you see like those, if you zoom in, you can almost see the printing dots on there. Okay.
What's wild about these cards, because they're blank back, especially, if it didn't say National Hockey League on the front, you would have no clue this is a hockey card.
Yeah, you would no idea.
Mhm.
Definitely agree with that. So really nice shape. Love the look of this card. Check out those dots, because that's one thing I just don't understand. But I think, you zoom in and you can see them, but I think that's just because it's high quality picture.
Yeah, high res scan.
Okay, our boy Harry Wilford Birch. Josh, he's in the Hall of Fame. One-time Hart winner, one-time Lady Byng winner. 136 goals, 60 assists for 196 points in 390 games played over an 11-season NHL career. Played for the Hamilton Tigers, New York Americans, Boston Bruins, and Chicago Blackhawks. Born in Yonkers, New York, but grew up in the Toronto area. Couple fun facts. Known as the NHL's first U.S.-born star. I did not know that. I love that I found that. And that was on his NHL.com bio, so I give that one a little more credence. Also, when the Hamilton Tigers relocated to become the New York Americans, Birch was named captain. And being born in Yonkers, he was promoted as the Babe Ruth of hockey to drum up interest for the NHL in New York. Thought that was kind of interesting.
And what does that mean, Babe Ruth of hockey? Just that he's like
the best, maybe the best American player. In 1924-25, Birch, along with his teammates, were involved in the first player strike in NHL history, which led to the dissolution of the Hamilton Tigers. And we just talked about where they went. They became the New York Americans. So pretty interesting. Even 100 years ago, players were going on strike. And it was over I think they wanted $200 was the amount of money they wanted. It's just crazy thinking about that. All right. Last sale of a PSA 5 copy of this card was October 27th. I think this is supposed to be 2023. I wrote down 2003. It's 2023 via eBay, verified in Terapeak for $218.50 US. Current bid right now is $24 US.
So the Babe Ruth of hockey, America's first star, PSA 5, 100 years old, is $200.
Yep.
Wow. Wild. Last vintage card we're going to spotlight is a 1960 Parkhurst Gordie Howe PSA 8. Kind of my theme is the, I guess, card condition this week, because this one has an eye appeal rating from PWCC. This one, though, received, Troy, the exceptional rating, putting in the top 15% of all PSA 8s for the card. There's 90 total PSA 8s for the 1960 Parkhurst Gordie Howe. So if this one's in the top 15% for eye appeal, that would put it in the top 12 of all PSA 8s. So it should be a very, very nice copy. There's a few things that really stick out to me right away about the card. First of all, I love the design. I love the simplicity of it, along with the contrast of colors, right? So it's really simple, but it's got these bold colors. You got the border, it feels like white wall tires back from the, because of a really thick white border. Then it's got a very vivid blue background with a full body photo of Howe front and center there. And then on the bottom is a black bar with his name and card number in yellow. And I think we covered this card before, but it's really, to me, the name that steals the show. And I don't know, Troy, maybe Parkhurst was short on ink in 1960 because it's not Gordie Howe on the card. It's Gord Howe. And they actually go back to back with the bit. They put his name as Gord Howe in the 1961 Parky as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Beautiful card, though. A tiny bit off-centered, right to left. Top to bottom is a bit better, I think. What really just jumps at you is the print quality. If there is nothing on that vivid blue background, as far as fish eyes or snowing or fading of any of the ink, it's it's incredible. Oh, do you find some?
A couple black dots, but I don't know if those, you never know if those are on the card.
Could be on the slab.
Or the slab.
Yeah. Like you said, no fish eyes or color loss. Registration looks really good on the card. The corners might be a tiny bit worn. And I definitely think PWCC is spot on with that exceptional eye appeal rating, because, if that's really what matters the most in vintage, and eye appeal should, this card, I think, is off the charts for eye appeal. Very, very cool card. And for you, Troy, we're going to check out the card back, which I actually think is pretty dope. It's got kind of a huge, vertical winged wheel logo for the Red Wings there, sort of overlaid on the text. Now, do you like that or do you not like that? Because it makes the text harder to read. You're the wax god and the card back expert, so you give it a rating for us here, Troy.
Boy, I don't know. I kind of I don't like that it's up and down or vertical. I wish it was horizontal. Just smaller horizontal, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll live with it.
All right. Now, every time we talk about Gordie Howe, try to throw something in there. We've done fun facts, but we're kind of running out of those. I did find an article that I'm not sure if you remember this or were aware. He had a pretty significant, actually life-threatening injury in 1950 that could have easily ended his career. And I want to read this paragraph from the article because I think it helps you maybe appreciate Gordie a little bit better. So the Stanley Cup playoffs had just started when on March 28th, 1950, Detroit fans were frightened and sickened at the sight of their best player laying motionless on the ice at Olympia Stadium. Howe had careened headfirst into the boards, suffered a fractured skull troy. He also had damage to his brain, and at one point he was placed in critical condition. And he recovered, though slowly. By April 23rd, nearly a month after his grisly injury, he's only 22 at the time.
Wow.
The 22-year-old Howe was able to walk onto the ice after his teammates won Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. He doffed his calf, showing a bald spot where his hair had been shaved for an operation. He had more than 300 stitches and countless injuries in his long NHL career, but the 1950 head injury was the most serious and almost cost him his life. That's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, that would have been before Bill Masterton, right, for the North Stars. I think was the first or the first and only to die on the ice from an injury.
Last sale of the 1960 Parkhurst Gourd Howe. PSA 8 was $788 on February 25th. All-time high, Troy, $3,499 in July 2023.
Boy, that's recent too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You got a current bid?
$340.
Very cool card. All right, we're going to go into modern, and I'm sticking with the condition theme, but this is a little bit different one.
You have to explain this to me, like when we get to the end of this, because I am baffled right now at this card.
It's a 2008 The Cup Mario Lemieux limited logos out of 50 patch auto. It's a PSA 5 auto 10.
Don't care.
So, yeah, what drew me to the card was first how awesome it looks.
Yeah.
But then it's really the grade. And my hunch is and was that if the card still looks pretty good, has good eye appeal, that it could be a value opportunity because there's going to be a lot of people that are combing through the auction and see a PSA 5 and are just skip it.
If I won this, I'd crack it immediately.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, sorry.
Because the reality is that these thick patch auto cards from Upper Deck never grade that well anyways. Now, a 5 is a little bit lower. It does seem a touch low. And so I'm glad you've kind of zoomed it up on our YouTube screen here because I've spent like a solid 20 minutes trying to figure out where there's a
corners a little bit, but not to a 5.
There might be like an indentation. Like look at the top left.
Top left.
Oh, you see like right there? But I don't know if that's just like a reflection of some kind or.
Yeah, there's some there, but that's still, I mean, that's why I got the 5. Okay. But still doesn't bother me one bit on this card.
Yeah, it does. Whatever the issue is, again, I'm not arguing the grade.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that there's nothing that like is very distracting or takes away from that eye appeal on the card. And they say like buy the card, not the grade. Like, and so I think it seems like we're in agreement that we're fine with the condition of this card.
Mm-hmm.
Now, beyond the grade, right? The card itself, the patch is super nice. It's 3-color patch. It's got 4 breaks. Limited logos, remember, are game used patches, which is muy buen and muy importante, right, Troy?
Yes.
The auto is beautiful. It's got a 10 auto grade. I love how I've said this like a million times, but I love when the designer like puts a spot on the card for the auto. So it's like in focus. There's nothing distracting behind it. It's a beautiful Oli Lefsa auto. What Mario Lemieux's name looks like when he signs it. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, Troy, but he's rocking all Nike gear at
Yep,
this
I
stage
see
of his
that.
career.
It's
He's got
awesome.
like the weird like Nike bike helmet. Not a fan of the Nike bike helmet, but
No.
the gloves are
Yeah.
the gloves are pretty wild. He's got
Stick.
the breezers on. Oh, sorry, if you're weird, you call it hockey pants, I guess. But yeah, and again, I really think because of the grade that some lucky and smart collector is going to get probably a really good deal on this card. And so now you kind of mentioned this, but I was going to ask you: you get this card, are you cracking it and just uh, having it be raw, or are
Yes.
you regrading it, or are you
Nope.
just leaving it as is?
I'm cracking and leaving it raw and putting it in my case.
Yeah, this is one that I think would look better raw.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're not going to again go into a Mario Lemieux bio. If you've never heard of him, welcome to the Connor Bedard hockey hobby.
Yep.
Ding. That occasionally features other players too, like Mario Lemieux. Last sale of the 2008 The Cup Mario Lemieux limited logos out of 50 raw was not as nice of a patch. Sold for $710 US this past November.
I don't
All-time high
understand.
trade was this exact card. Sold for $900 last May.
That seems low to me. I don't. Maybe I just don't understand. I'd have to ask Mitch like how limited logos pricing is, but that seems low for the, and maybe because it's an older card, 2000 or later in his career. He was already done. Was he done by then?
Yeah, he was done.
Okay.
It would be the third year of the fourth year of the Cup, right? I don't know. I think if I got this card for $100,000, I would be super pumped.
Oh, I'd be super happy. Wait to hear the current bid. I mean, I know this will change.
What is it?
$250 US.
Ooh.
I mean, I know it's going to go up, obviously, but
it's an awesome card. It's a really, really great card. So, and do not be afraid of that PSA 5 grade. I'm telling you. I mean, do your own research.
Yes.
Don't just go off of what us ding dongs say about it.
Mm-hmm. And I know we don't talk about this one, but since we're on the Penguins mode, if you check out the Sidney Crosby people, this one looks really cool too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's honorable numbers, right? Is that a rookie?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I think it is.
2005, yes.
That's one that I was almost a little surprised was not in the premiere.
Yeah. I saw it and I was just like, I just want to do something. I didn't want to do Sidney. It's like we talk about Crosby enough and just try to find something else.
You were pretty anti-Sid when we started this show, and I feel the tides slowly turn.
No, I was more mad at Sid for beating the U.S. in the gold medal game in overtime. He's always been a great player. I just held that against him.
You were kind of a Crosby guy. You talked about concussions a lot. Yeah, I remember, Troy. I remember that. Okay, you got the next modern card.
All right, I do. All right, here we go. A little zoomed in there. So I went to 2018 Upper Deck ingrained stick nameplates. Alexander Ovechkin, Pavel Bure. Now, the title, they call it Patch 101 BGS 7. And this always kind of cracks me up when it says BGS population 101, none graded higher. Okay, I get it. It's a 101 card. It's in a slab. There can't be any graded higher. But I did look at PSA 2 to make sure it wasn't like graded over there too. But again, it says patch card. Well, if you're looking at it, it's not really patch, it's sticks. So you got a couple sticks in there. So I just wanted to mention that if you see that in the title, because I wanted to make sure the name of the card is actually called a dual stick nameplates. That's what they call these. And again, it says patch, but I just want to clarify that. In case
so it's basically a part of the stick, right?
Yep. It's like the nameplate or the little piece from the stick.
I never knew Ovi was OVIE.
His nickname, yeah. I don't know if that's. You think that's new? Is that a revelation?
I don't know. Hobby drama? Unsolved hobby mystery? The other thing that really stood out to me about this card is Pavel Bure played at a time where he rocked like a solid wood stick.
Oh, I talk about that. I don't talk about it.
Okay, great. I just jump ahead. I'm sorry.
So, now I'm going to take a step back. So we've talked about some of these I call them offshoot memorabilia cards because we've had sticks, we got buckles, there's pieces of glove, and in the past, but man, and I didn't know how I really felt about a lot of them, but I think this looks really cool. And I really like the stick, and I like that there's two great players on it. And in fact, this got me going looking at this ingrained hockey release, and there are some awesome cards in that release. Mm-hmm. It's 2018. The whole ingrained set was built around engravings, hence the name, wood designs, and hockey sticks. And the ingrained set debuted with the 2018-19 release, and it also had a 2019-20 release as well. Then it went on hiatus, but it looks like there's going to be a 23-24 release.
Yeah, I was just going to mention
that right now showing around September of 2024. I am super excited for that, and I looked for boxes of this and found some, and I don't know. I kind of want to. Well, they're not that expensive. They're less than Series 2. I'll say that.
Wow.
I almost pulled the trigger on one, but now that I said it, probably someone will go buy them all at some store.
Like when you say you almost pulled the trigger, it was like kind of like buying a button bar. How you almost
the button bar was in the cart with it, and I was like, "Hold on, I gotta look at my grained," and there it is. Okay, so back to this debut release of Ingrained, where this card is from. Now I found the sell sheet, and on their upper deck states that dual stick nameplates are the ultimate chase and perhaps the finest NHL licensed memorabilia cards ever made. Now, that's a bold statement, Cotton.
That's a big claim.
That's a bold statement. But I will give them credit. These are pretty sweet. They do look pretty sweet looking.
Yeah.
So, again, looking at the card, it looks great. It's cool. You have the actual names on the actual sticks, which is really cool. OV stick even has some additional information. The 100 is probably the flex. I'm not sure what all the other identifying information is. I didn't take time to look it up. And then we got Bure.
Is there an EN on there for empty net? Is there an EN on the OV stick?
Oh, close. There's an E. But then we got Bure's with the old wooden stick. I can't believe he had to play when there was.
No, that's yeah. That's maybe. That's a stick that like the equipment manager whittled between the second and third period.
Watch, now someone's going to tell me these aren't the actual sticks. I'm going to be depressed. And it's like just a little nameplate that they made out of like stick material. But when Upper Deck calls it the greatest piece of hockey memorabilia ever in a card, it better be a real stick, dang it. Okay.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Previously, this card sold on October 30th, 2023 via eBay, verified in Terapeak for $4,050 US. Current bid, $750 US. Great looking card. I was trying to think, I mean, an autograph version would be cool, but I'm not 100% sure where you put the autograph. They do have in the release, they do have stick autographs, and they also have sticks where I think it's just one player, but they'll have 3 separate pieces of it. And then I think they have an auto on some of them. They're really cool. This Ingrained, I'm kind of excited for the new release coming up.
I'm pretty much in on any OV Pavel Bure combo card.
Yeah.
Were you a big fan of Pavel Bure in the 90s?
Yeah, oh for sure. The only, and this is what everyone remembers, just how stinking fast and skilled he was.
Oh yeah, Russian Rocket. Right?
Yeah, Russian Rocket. But he put on moves that were just crazy. There's the back of the card if anyone wants to see it.
Yeah, it says game used, right? Yeah, game used.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, for our last card, Troy, we're going to talk about. I went all Homer.
Yep.
Can't help it. And I feel like we can do a little bit of like a who's hot and a PWCC preview, Troy, because our guy Dollar Bill Kirill has been on fire lately. He's got 18 goals in the last 21 games. That's darn impressive, I think.
Super impressive.
Then there's a card too. It's these acetate Premier RPA out of 99s. I'm a huge fan of these. Like, I think like going back to the Lemieux, I think maybe limited logos and Premier acetate RPAs are my favorite kind of patch auto cards right now. Is that controversial?
I got really liking these cards when Ottingers started. When the Ottingers came out, because I PC Ottinger, and these were really really cool. One thing, these are always ones that sometimes the autos you got to watch them. This one actually looks pretty good. Sometimes
it's
cards are hard to sign. They're hard to sign.
It's acetate,
yeah.
But the thing with Kaprizov, though, remember, this is sticker gate, right? So if you don't want like a cup RPA that has a sticker, this gives a very kind of interesting alternative. So here's what I like about the card. I love the minimalist kind of like white museum type look to Premier anyways. The picture is like Krill. He's like, hey man, like I'm open. Right? Just like that. A big thing for me on this card is the patch is from the jersey he's wearing in the photo. Like you see a lot with you'll see Krill RPAs that were like the photo, he'll have the reverse retro, and then he'll have like the Christmas tree jersey on in the patch. And it's like, I don't know why that bugs me more than it probably should. but it does. So the streaky auto doesn't bug you or
No.
or
Not on this one because I expect it, but it's not that bad. Like I've seen a lot worse on these. It's just they're hard cards to sign.
So I want a little fun facty on Kaprizov here. Try to find some interesting stats. Troy's the first Minnesota Wild player to ever win the Calder Trophy. No shock there.
No shock
Of course,
at all.
The NHL's best rookie, for which he did, and he won the award in 2020-21. He's the youngest KHL player to record 100 career goals. There's been a lot of big-time Russian players that have come through the KHL. Interesting, though. Now, okay, so if there's like kind of a Russian star that plays in the KHL, I think that maybe the expectation you would have is that, if he scored a ton of goals in the KHL, it might be a little tougher in the NHL, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's been better in the NHL than in the KHL. So in his KHL career, he had 113 goals, 117 assists for 230 points, and 293 games played. So that averages out to 0.39 goals per game and 0.78 points per game. In the NHL, Troy, he was 147 goals, 160 assists for 307 points in just 262 games played. That's 0.56 goals per game and 1.17 points per game. That's pretty. I didn't know his career numbers were that good.
Maybe his PSA 10 will go up. 5,000, pop 5,000, baby.
Now, he hasn't played 5 years, so I can't do my in the last 5 years stat, which I was itching to do. I really wanted to do it. But so this is the last 4 years. It's 80% is good, is the last 5 year stat. In the last 4 years, he has the 11th most points of any player in the NHL. And Troy, this surprised me a little bit too. The 6th most goals of any player in the NHL. Right. And, the big knock on like Kirill from like, I guess like an investing standpoint is he did spend 6 years in the KHL, caused him to come to the NHL a little later than usual. He's 26 right now, will be 27 in April. I just think it makes his cards a little bit cheaper if you're like a Wild fan or collector. So good news for us there. Last sale of a 2020 Premier Kaprizov RPA out of 99 raw, 600 US this past October. And as an indication of like how far his market has just in general has fallen in the last year, all-time high 1,825 in April of 2022.
Ooh.
So it's basically lost 2/3 of its value. You got a current bid?
$220 US, $30 cheaper than that Lemieux limited logos right now.
Yeah, I love you, Curl, but I'm taking the Lemieux limited logos any day of the week. All right, Troy. Personal pickups time. What do you got to report?
Nothing. I'm war chesting. War chesting for what I don't know. Parkhurst Champions.
Okay. Yeah, I'll buy that. You're war chesting for Michael Misa?
There you go.
So I was a little bit distracted on last week's PWCC Weekly with Jeremy Lee, our YouTube live show. I picked up a couple cards. The first one is kind of a joke. I did it for me. It was really cheap. It's a 2022-23 Upper Deck Sidney Crosby. Highlighter is pink, PSA 9. So as we know, I embarrassingly still to this day have the record for most spent all time for an orange Crosby raw, which I spent $90 back in April 2023. So now here's why that's super embarrassing, or one reason out of many. Pack odds for the orange were 1 in 576. The pink pack odds were 3 times harder, 1 in 1,536. So I spent $20 for the much tougher chase and $90 for the more common one. Even though all these are pretty tough chases, like 1 in 576 pack odds, I don't think is anything to sneeze at. Do you?
Nope.
So I'm calling this move dollar cost averaging, Troy.
There you go.
I still love these cards. I guess not a lot of the people do, but then I did kind of a flip play. I haven't done this in so long because I kind of given up in that whole game. But I saw this next card, and I think the bid was like $14. And I don't know if you've followed it all with all these teams loaded up. Seth Jarvis for the Carolina Hurricanes has been kind of sneaky good this year. He's got like 50 points in 60 games. He's still 22 years old. I'm not like the biggest retro design fan, but I love this retro look. So the card what I'm talking about here that I picked up is a 2021 SP Authentic Seth Jarvis. It's a future watch, but it's the 01 retro. It's not autoed. It's just numbered out of 900. And this one's a PSA 10. And my thought process was, well, he's kind of been under the radar. They just added a whole bunch of, Jake Gensel and who else, right? Somebody else good. And if they go on a playoff run, and I paid like $18 for this card, but you couldn't grade it for that much. I'm like, one of the nice things that I really like about the PWCC Weekly is I put this card right in my vault, Troy.
Yeah.
So that right before the playoffs, I can just say add it to the weekly auction, and it's one click and it's done. I don't have to mail anything. I don't have to do anything. So now, because every time I try to make money in cards, it all like blows up in my face. So, but it was like $18, so who cares, right? So I picked that one up. And then lastly, I don't have a photo for YouTube, but everyone's seen it. I went all Homer again. Proud Homer for a while. Traded a couple Team Canada cards of Mr. Celebrini and a Matthew Coronado Young Guns for a Brock Faber Young Guns, who's, of course, super awesome. And, of course, also, after last night, no longer has a snowball's chance to win the Calder Trophy. Like, that dream has died. But still love him. Also love Mike Hardpost. And I'd love to retire and just, like, do trades on there all day long. That'd be fun. And if you haven't tried out Mike Hardpost yet and you want to, you can use promo code GONGSHOW30 and save 30% off your first few months. So again, GONGSHOW30 is our promo code for Mike Hardpost.
Did you notice, when you said Bedard, I had to look him up. And again, he's minus 36 on plus minus for this year. That is crazy bad. And again, I'm not a plus minus guy. I think it's a very flawed statistic. But when you get minus 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, I know the team's terrible. I get that, but I didn't realize it was that bad.
They're so bad, Troy.
Yeah, they are bad.
Yeah, what I think is funny about Bedard Ding is Series 2 comes out, and all of a sudden he's like so on fire that
he's like, watch this, people.
I'm gonna go multi-point game every time I play. We finished the show in under 2 hours, Troy.
Good, thank God. We had to do it once every year. This will be the one show.
I am sad that there was no happy news. I didn't get to do it. Well, I didn't know. So yeah, there just wasn't anything. You can't make it up, right?
Yeah.
You gotta tell us how you like Unsolved Mysteries, and we'll solve the mystery. Give us information. Send us some messages on that. Well, that's our show. If you like the episode, please leave a rating review on Apple, Spotify, or whatever podcast app you listen to us on. If you love the show, you want to support us, want to chat with us on the Hockey Cards Gongshow Discord server, you want to make fun of Troy for never buying a button bar and driving me crazy, please consider a $5 a month donation. Join our $1.99 support level tier on Patreon. Link is in the show description. It's in our Instagram, TikTok profile. You go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com. Click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page. Or, just go to Patreon's website directly and search for us there. We are on social media. Yeah, we're old guys on social media. How funny is that? We're at Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And Troy, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast is a production of Dollar Box Ventures LLC. Have an awesome, awesome weekend. And we can't wait to be back with you all on Monday.